Joe Rogan has spent years diving deep into the mysterious, the unexplained, and the ancient secrets hidden in plain sight. From lost civilizations and advanced ancient technology to impossible architecture and forbidden archaeology, he's questioned everything we thought we knew about the pyramids. Now, here are 15 of the most compelling pyramid conspiracy theories ever discussed on the Joe Rogan Experience. The Great Pyramids of Giza stand as an enduring enigma, colossal monuments of stone that have defied the ravages of time and continue to inspire awe and speculation. For centuries, their construction has been a source of profound wonder, prompting questions about the capabilities of the ancient Egyptians and the true extent of their knowledge. Among the myriad theories attempting to unravel this ancient riddle, one stands out for its sensational claims and widespread popular appeal: the assertion that extraterrestrial beings, possessing technology far beyond human comprehension at the time, either significantly aided or were entirely responsible for the construction of these magnificent structures. This theory, often labeled the ancient astronaut hypothesis, when applied more broadly, suggests that humanity's most impressive ancient achievements were not solely the product of human ingenuity, but rather the result of intervention by visitors from another world. Proponents of the alien builders theory typically begin by highlighting the sheer scale and precision of the pyramids, particularly the Great Pyramid of Khufu. They point to the estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, many weighing several tons, with some granite blocks in the king's chamber exceeding 50 tons. The question is repeatedly posed: how could a civilization without iron tools, wheeled vehicles, or advanced cranes quarry, transport, and lift such immense weights to heights of over 140 meters? The conventional explanations involving vast numbers of laborers, ramps, and simple levers are often dismissed as insufficient to account for the monumental effort required. The sheer volume of work, if performed by human hands alone, would necessitate an unimaginable workforce and an almost impossible pace of construction, leading some to conclude that only a technologically superior civilization could have achieved such a feat. Beyond the raw scale, the precision of the pyramid's construction is frequently cited as irrefutable evidence of non-human involvement. The casing stones, now largely removed, were said to be fitted with such exactitude that a razor blade could not be inserted between them. This level of masonry, achieved on a grand scale with blocks weighing many tons, seems to defy the capabilities of copper tools and rudimentary surveying techniques. Furthermore, the Great Pyramid's astonishing alignment to true north, deviating by only a fraction of a degree, is presented as evidence of an astronomical knowledge that surpasses what is typically attributed to ancient cultures. How could the Egyptians, without telescopes or sophisticated navigational instruments, achieve such a precise orientation? This precision extends to the internal passages and chambers, which are also meticulously aligned and constructed. The air shafts leading from the king's and queen's chambers, for instance, point to specific stars or constellations at the time of construction, leading some theorists to suggest a deliberate celestial connection, perhaps even a landing beacon or a cosmic map, indicating knowledge gleaned from or provided by extraterrestrial visitors. These gods or sky people, mentioned in various ancient myths and religious texts, are then reinterpreted as actual alien beings, and the pyramids, along with other megalithic sites, become tangible proof of their ancient visits and influence. Erich von Däniken, a prominent figure in the ancient astronaut movement, popularized many of these ideas in the late 1960s with his book Chariots of the Gods. He posited that ancient myths, religious texts, and archaeological artifacts contain evidence of contact between humans and extraterrestrial beings. For von Däniken and his followers, the pyramids are not just tombs, but possibly power generators, communication devices, or even landing pads for alien spacecraft. They interpret ancient artwork depicting figures with unusual head shapes or flying machines as literal representations of alien visitors and their technology. The theory feeds on a sense of wonder and a desire for more extraordinary explanations than those offered by conventional science, often appealing to those who feel that mainstream archaeology is too conservative or unwilling to consider radical possibilities. However, mainstream archaeology and Egyptology overwhelmingly reject the alien intervention theory, asserting that the pyramids are a monumental testament to the remarkable ingenuity, organizational skills, and sheer human labor of the ancient Egyptians. Their counterarguments are built on decades of meticulous archaeological excavation, scientific analysis, and the interpretation of historical records. The most compelling evidence for human construction comes from the archaeological record itself. Excavations around the pyramid sites, particularly the discovery of the workers' village at Height El Ghurab near Giza, have provided incredible insights into the lives of the pyramid builders. This was not a slave society, as often popularly depicted, but a highly organized workforce of skilled laborers, craftsmen, and administrators. Evidence suggests they were well fed, housed, and received medical care, indicating a sophisticated logistical operation. The sheer number of people involved, estimated to be tens of thousands, working in shifts and organized into specialized gangs, provides a plausible explanation for the immense labor required. These were not primitive people, but a highly advanced civilization in terms of social organization, administration, and resource management. Regarding the tools and techniques, archaeologists have found numerous examples of implements used by the ancient Egyptians. Copper chisels, though softer than stone, were effective when used with abrasive sands and constant resharpening. Dolerite pounders, extremely hard stone balls, were used to shape and smooth granite. Wooden mallets, levers, and ropes made from plant fibers have also been discovered. While these tools may seem rudimentary by modern standards, experimental archaeology has repeatedly demonstrated their effectiveness when employed by a large, coordinated workforce over extended periods of time. For instance, experiments have shown that a relatively small team of men can move multi-ton blocks using sledges over lubricated surfaces, especially when aided by water or mud. The quarrying process itself, often deemed impossible by alien theorists, is well understood. Limestone was quarried using copper chisels and wooden wedges inserted into cracks, which were then soaked with water to expand and split the stone. For harder granite, dolerite pounders were used to pound away at the rock until desired shapes were achieved. The marks left on the quarry walls matched the known tools. The transportation of blocks, particularly the large granite pieces from Aswan, is explained by the annual inundation of the Nile. During the flood season, the river would rise, allowing large barges to transport stones remarkably close to the Giza Plateau. From there, causeways, possibly lubricated with water or silt, would have facilitated the movement of sledges pulled by large teams of men. Recent discoveries, such as a 4,500-year-old papyrus detailing the transport of limestone by boat from Tura to Giza, further corroborate these methods, providing direct historical evidence of human logistical planning. The most debated aspect of construction remains the method of lifting blocks to high heights. While no single definitive blueprint has been found, various ramp theories are widely accepted as plausible. These include straight ramps, spiraling ramps around the pyramid's exterior, or even internal ramps. A recent discovery at the ancient alabaster quarry of Hatnub revealed an elaborate ramp system with staircases and post holes, suggesting a method for hauling heavy stone blocks up steep slopes using ropes and a system of levers or counterweights. While this specific ramp was not for pyramid construction, it demonstrates the sophistication of Egyptian engineering in managing inclines and heavy loads. The idea of levering blocks up step by step, or using a system of rockers to gradually raise them, are also considered viable methods. The key is that these methods, while labor-intensive, are physically possible with the technology available to the ancient Egyptians. The supposed advanced mathematical and astronomical knowledge of the Egyptians, often attributed to alien influence, is also explained by mainstream science as the result of centuries of careful observation and practical application. Ancient Egyptians were keen astronomers, primarily for religious purposes and for determining the agricultural calendar. Their understanding of geometry was essential for land surveying after the annual Nile floods, and this practical knowledge would have been applied to construction. The precise alignment of the pyramids to true north, for example, could have been achieved by observing the circumpolar stars and the point where they appeared to be stationary. This does not require alien technology, but rather dedicated observation and sophisticated understanding of celestial mechanics developed incrementally over generations. Furthermore, the pyramids did not appear out of nowhere as fully formed, perfect structures. The archaeological record clearly shows an evolutionary progression of pyramid building. The earliest royal tombs were simple mastabas, flat-roofed rectangular structures. This evolved into the step pyramid of Djoser at Saqqara, a series of mastabas stacked on top of each other, designed by the brilliant architect Imhotep. Later, King Sneferu, Khufu's father, experimented with different forms, building the bent pyramid, which changed angle mid-construction due to structural issues, and the red pyramid, the first true pyramid. This progression demonstrates a clear learning curve, trial and error, and refinement of techniques. While mainstream archaeology identifies it primarily as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, an alternative theory posits a far more extraordinary purpose, that the Great Pyramid was, in fact, a giant energy plant designed to harness the Earth's electromagnetic field and generate power. This captivating idea, often intertwined with concepts of lost ancient technologies and esoteric knowledge, has gained significant traction in popular culture, challenging conventional understandings of ancient Egyptian capabilities. Proponents of the pyramid as energy generator theory argue that the Great Pyramid's unique design, materials, and internal structure were not merely architectural choices for a burial chamber, but were meticulously engineered components of a sophisticated power system. This theory suggests that the ancient Egyptians, or perhaps an even older, more advanced civilization, possessed a profound understanding of physics, electromagnetism, and resonant frequencies, which they embedded into the pyramid's very fabric. The primary mechanism proposed for this energy generation often involves the Earth's natural energies. The Earth itself is a giant magnet, constantly interacting with cosmic rays, solar winds, and its own internal geological processes, creating a complex electromagnetic field. The theory suggests that the pyramid was strategically positioned and constructed to tap into this ambient energy. Key elements often cited as evidence for this function include materials and conductivity. The Great Pyramid was originally covered in highly reflective white Tura limestone, which contains insulating properties. Beneath this, the core structure is made of yellowish limestone. However, the internal chambers, particularly the King's Chamber, are constructed from granite, a material known to contain trace amounts of crystalline quartz. Proponents argue that the combination of insulating outer layers and a conductive, quartz-rich interior could have created a massive capacitor or resonator capable of collecting and concentrating electromagnetic energy. Some even suggest that the granite, under specific conditions of pressure or vibration, could exhibit piezoelectric properties, generating an electric charge. Water and underground chambers. The Giza Plateau sits above a network of underground rivers and aquifers. The theory posits that these subterranean water flows could have played a crucial role in the pyramid's operation. The movement of water, particularly through specific channels or chambers beneath the pyramid, like the unfinished subterranean chamber, could have generated a form of hydroelectric or geoelectric energy, or perhaps created vibrations that resonated with the pyramid's structure. Some versions of the theory suggest that hydrogen gas produced from the water might have been used in a maser-like process within the pyramid's chambers. The King's Chamber as a resonant cavity. The King's Chamber, with its precise dimensions and granite construction, is often described as the heart of the power plant. Its granite walls, ceiling, and the large granite sarcophagus within are believed to have acted as a resonant cavity, amplifying specific frequencies. The air shafts leading from the king's and queen's chambers, traditionally thought to be for ventilation or celestial alignment, are reinterpreted as waveguides for electromagnetic energy or conduits for gases. The theory suggests that these shafts, potentially lined with conductive materials, though no such lining has been found, could have directed amplified energy outwards. The missing capstone and gold plating. It is believed that the Great Pyramid once had a capstone, possibly made of granite, and potentially covered in gold or electrum, an alloy of gold and silver. This capstone, if metallic, could have served as a giant antenna, transmitting the generated energy wirelessly. This concept often draws parallels with Nikola Tesla's vision of wireless energy transmission. The name of Nikola Tesla, the visionary inventor and electrical engineer, is frequently invoked in discussions about the Great Pyramid as an energy generator. Tesla himself was fascinated by the Earth's natural energies and dreamed of a world powered by free, wireless electricity. He built the Warden Cliff Tower, an experimental wireless transmission station, which some proponents argue was designed with principles similar to those they attribute to the Great Pyramid. While Tesla never explicitly stated that the pyramids were ancient power plants, his theories on harnessing atmospheric and telluric Earth currents and his pursuit of resonant frequencies for wireless power transmission are seen by some as a modern echo of ancient knowledge. The idea is that Tesla, through his genius, rediscovered principles that were once known and applied by the pyramid builders. This connection lends a sense of scientific validation to the pyramid energy theory, even if it's largely based on speculative interpretations of Tesla's work and the pyramid's properties. Various theories propose different outputs for this ancient energy plant. Wireless power transmission. The most popular idea is that the pyramid generated and transmitted wireless electricity, powering ancient cities, lighting systems such as the Dendera light in some interpretations of Egyptian reliefs, or even advanced machinery that has since been lost or destroyed. Healing and consciousness alteration. Some theories suggest the energy generated was not for mechanical power, but for more subtle purposes, such as healing, enhancing consciousness, or facilitating communication with other dimensions. The unique energetic properties within the pyramid are believed to have a positive effect on biological systems. Hydrogen production, or maser. As mentioned, some more technically detailed theories propose that the pyramid was designed to produce hydrogen gas from water, which was then used in a maser-like device to amplify microwave radiation, possibly for communication or other advanced applications. Despite the intriguing nature of the pyramid as energy generator theory, it is overwhelmingly rejected by mainstream archaeologists, Egyptologists, and physicists. Their refutations are based on a lack of empirical evidence, a misunderstanding of scientific principles, and a disregard for the extensive archaeological record that supports the pyramid's function as a tomb. Lack of evidence for power generation. There is no archaeological evidence whatsoever to suggest that the Great Pyramid or any other ancient Egyptian structure was designed or used as a power plant. No wires, generators, power transmission devices, or any other components consistent with an electrical or energy-generating system have ever been found within or around the pyramids. The air shafts are too narrow and irregular to function as efficient waveguides, and there's no evidence they were ever lined with conductive materials. Even if they could generate a minuscule charge, there's no mechanism for collecting, amplifying, or transmitting it. The idea of water flow generating significant usable electricity without turbines or dynamos is also scientifically unfounded. Purpose as a tomb. Overwhelming archaeological evidence, including the discovery of funerary artifacts, sarcophagi, and inscriptions, such as the inventory stela and the Khufu boat, consistently points to the pyramids, particularly the Great Pyramid, as elaborate tombs and monuments to deceased pharaohs. The internal chambers, while mysterious in their exact purpose, are consistent with funerary architecture and ritual. The pyramid's design aligns with the ancient Egyptian belief system, which focused on the afterlife and the pharaoh's journey to become a god. Misapplication of Tesla's work. While Nikola Tesla was a visionary, his work on wireless energy transmission involved specific technologies, such as high-frequency alternating currents and resonant transformers, that bear no resemblance to the materials or known construction of the Great Pyramid. Attributing his ideas directly to ancient Egyptians without any supporting evidence is a speculative leap. Scientific principles versus pseudoscience. The claims made by proponents of the pyramid energy theory often rely on a selective interpretation of scientific terms like electromagnetism, resonance, quantum energy, without adhering to the rigorous methodologies and empirical testing required by genuine scientific inquiry. Many claims about pyramid power, such as sharpening razor blades and preserving food, have been tested under controlled conditions and consistently debunked. Alternative explanations for anomalies. The precise alignments, the internal shafts, and the choice of materials can all be explained within the context of ancient Egyptian astronomical knowledge, religious beliefs, and practical engineering skills. The air shafts, for instance, are now widely accepted as having symbolic significance. The enduring mystique of the Great Pyramids of Giza extends beyond their construction methods to the very spaces within their colossal stone structures. While known passages and chambers, such as the King's Chamber, Queen's Chamber, and the Grand Gallery, are accessible and well documented, a persistent vein of conspiracy theory posits the existence of additional, undiscovered, secret rooms. These hidden chambers, according to various proponents, are not merely architectural curiosities, but contain ancient knowledge, advanced technology, or even alien artifacts, deliberately concealed from mainstream view for reasons ranging from preservation to suppression. This theory thrives on the inherent mystery of the pyramids and the human fascination with hidden truths. The sheer size and complexity of the structures, coupled with the fact that only a fraction of their internal volume has been explored, provide fertile ground for speculation. The idea is that the known chambers are just the tip of the iceberg, and that the true treasures, be they intellectual, technological, or extraterrestrial, lie in undiscovered voids. One of the primary drivers of this belief is the notion that ancient civilizations, particularly the Egyptians, possessed knowledge far superior to what is generally acknowledged by modern historians and archaeologists. This lost knowledge could encompass advanced scientific principles, forgotten technologies, or even a deeper understanding of the universe and humanity's place within it. If such knowledge existed, conspiracy theorists argue, where would it be safeguarded? The pyramids, with their imposing scale and apparent imperviousness to time and intrusion, become the logical candidates for such a repository. The very act of building such monumental structures in this view was not just for a pharaoh's tomb, but also to create an impregnable vault for humanity's most profound secrets. The concept of advanced technology within these hidden chambers often ties into the alien builders theory, or the idea of a highly sophisticated antediluvian civilization like Atlantis. If ancient Egyptians had access to technologies that allowed them to cut and move massive stones with impossible precision, or to generate energy wirelessly, then the blueprints, power sources, or even the devices themselves must be stored somewhere. These hidden rooms are imagined to contain devices that could revolutionize modern science, offering solutions to energy crises, medical breakthroughs, or even interstellar travel. The Dendera light reliefs, often misinterpreted as ancient light bulbs, are sometimes cited as evidence that the Egyptians possessed electrical knowledge, and the hidden chambers might hold the actual power sources or devices. Another compelling aspect of the hidden chambers theory is the possibility of alien artifacts. This takes the ancient astronaut hypothesis a step further, suggesting that extraterrestrial visitors not only influenced human civilization, but also left behind physical evidence of their presence. These artifacts could range from alien tools and communication devices to remnants of spacecraft or even biological samples. The secrecy surrounding their supposed discovery is often attributed to governments or shadowy organizations who wish to control or suppress this world-altering information, fearing the societal upheaval that would result from its revelation. The pyramids, therefore, become not just tombs, but cosmic time capsules, awaiting the moment when humanity is deemed ready or forced to confront its true origins. The search for hidden chambers has been fueled by various modern investigative techniques: ground-penetrating radar, muon tomography, a technique that uses cosmic rays to detect voids, and other non-invasive scanning methods have occasionally revealed anomalies or voids within the pyramid structures. While mainstream scientists interpret these anomalies as natural geological features, construction stress relief chambers, or previously unknown but structurally explainable spaces, conspiracy theorists seize upon them as definitive proof of secret rooms. The Great Void, discovered in the Great Pyramid in 2017 by the Scan Pyramids Project, for instance, became a focal point for such speculation, despite scientific explanations suggesting it was likely a large, previously unknown structural corridor or space related to the construction process, not a hidden treasure trove. The motivation for keeping these chambers hidden is a central theme in the conspiracy narrative. Some believe the ancient Egyptians themselves deliberately sealed them, perhaps to protect sacred knowledge from falling into the wrong hands, or to preserve it for a future generation deemed worthy. Others suggest that modern authorities, including archaeological institutions or governments, have discovered these secrets but are actively suppressing the information to maintain existing power structures, control historical narratives, or prevent panic among the populace. This element of suppression adds a layer of intrigue and distrust, appealing to those who believe in hidden agendas and secret societies. However, mainstream archaeology and Egyptology approach the concept of hidden chambers with scientific rigor and skepticism. While the possibility of undiscovered spaces within such massive and ancient structures is not entirely dismissed, the interpretation of any anomalies is grounded in archaeological context and known construction techniques. Architectural explanations. Many voids or anomalous readings can be explained as relieving chambers designed to distribute weight and prevent collapse, construction passages that were later filled or sealed, or natural fissures within the bedrock. The pyramids were built over centuries, and construction methods evolved, leading to complex internal structures that may not always be immediately obvious. Lack of evidence for contents. Even if undiscovered chambers exist, there is no archaeological or historical record to suggest they contain advanced technology, alien artifacts, or lost knowledge in the way conspiracy theorists imagine. The purpose of the pyramids, as overwhelmingly supported by textual and material evidence, was funerary and religious. Scientific methodology. Modern scanning techniques are valuable tools, but their results require careful interpretation. A void detected by muons, for example, indicates a less dense area, but it does not specify the nature or contents of that void. Attributing fantastical contents to these anomalies without physical access and archaeological investigation is pure speculation. Historical context. The ancient Egyptians were a highly organized and documented civilization. While some knowledge may have been esoteric or confined to specific priestly classes, the idea of them possessing and then completely suppressing world-altering technology or alien contact without any discernible trace is inconsistent with the vast amount of information we have about their society, beliefs, and practices. In conclusion, the theory of hidden chambers within the pyramids containing ancient secrets, advanced technology, or alien artifacts is a powerful and persistent narrative. It taps into our collective sense of wonder, our desire for extraordinary explanations, and our fascination with the unknown. While modern technology may continue to reveal previously unknown spaces within these ancient marvels, mainstream science will continue to interpret these discoveries through the lens of archaeological evidence, historical context, and sound scientific principles. The true secrets of the pyramids, for archaeologists, lie in unraveling the full extent of human ingenuity and belief that brought these colossal structures into being. The Great Pyramids of Giza are old and mysterious buildings. Many people wonder about them. One popular idea, or conspiracy theory, says these pyramids are linked to a secret group called the Illuminati. Some believe the pyramid shape itself is a special sign for the Illuminati. They also think the Great Pyramid was built by powerful people from long ago who were connected to this secret group. These people supposedly built the pyramid to show their hidden power and their plans for the world. Here are the main ideas of this theory. 1. Pyramids and the all-seeing eye as Illuminati symbols. The clearest link people see between the Illuminati and pyramids is a symbol, a pyramid with an eye on top. This eye is often called the Eye of Providence. You can see this symbol on the back of the United States $1 bill. People who believe this theory say this symbol proves the Illuminati's strong influence in today's world, and that it connects them to old buildings like the Great Pyramid. They think the pyramid shape shows a power structure, like a pyramid with a few powerful people at the very top, where the eye is. These enlightened few control everyone else at the bottom. The all-seeing eye means this secret group watches and controls everything. The pyramid on the dollar bill is also shown as unfinished, which some believe means the Illuminati's plan to create a new world order is still being built. 2. Very old origins and powerful builders. This theory suggests that the Illuminati, or a similar secret group, isn't new. It didn't just start in the 1700s in Germany, where a real group called the Bavarian Illuminati was formed. Instead, it has very, very old roots, going back thousands of years. These ancient powerful people, who supposedly knew many hidden things and had great power, are thought to be the real builders of huge structures like the Great Pyramid. They built these places not just as tombs, but as symbols of their power, their secret knowledge, and their long-term plans to control the world. So the Great Pyramid becomes proof of a long line of secret societies that have existed for ages. The Illuminati, in this view, is just the modern version of these old hidden rulers. The amazing accuracy and size of the pyramid, which many find hard to believe ancient Egyptians could do with simple tools, are explained by saying these secret groups had advanced knowledge or even technology passed down through their hidden lines. 3. Secret knowledge and hidden plans. The Illuminati theory often mixes with the idea that pyramids hold secret knowledge or have a purpose beyond just being a burial place. This knowledge isn't necessarily about advanced machines, but about secret wisdom, magic-like rules, or a deep understanding of how the universe works. The Illuminati supposedly has and protects this knowledge. The pyramid shape, how it lines up with stars, and its inside passages are all seen as secret messages or parts of a system only understood by a few special people. Keeping this connection a secret is a big part of the theory. People believe the Illuminati works in the shadows to control politics, money, and society, all to create a single world government. The pyramids, then, are seen as a basic symbol and a source of power or ideas for this ongoing plan. 4. The real Illuminati versus conspiracy stories. It's important to know the difference between the actual historical group called the Bavarian Illuminati and the modern conspiracy theory. The real group was small and short-lived. It was started in 1776 in Bavaria, Germany, to fight against old beliefs and misuse of power. It was banned in 1785 and mostly disappeared. But later, people who believe in conspiracies started using the name Illuminati for a much more powerful, long-lasting, and evil group that secretly controls the world. This modern Illuminati is often confused with other secret groups, like the Freemasons. Its supposed symbols and power are seen everywhere, from movies to government. The idea that it's linked to the pyramids came later, mostly because of the all-seeing eye on the dollar bill and the mystery of the pyramids. What experts say. Mainstream view. Most historians, Egyptologists, people who study ancient Egypt, and experts on secret societies say the Illuminati connection to the pyramids is just a made-up story without real proof. Symbols are misunderstood. The all-seeing eye is a very old symbol, much older than the Bavarian Illuminati. It was used in religious art to mean God watching over people, and by other groups like Freemasons. When it was put on the U.S. Great Seal, it was meant to show God's care for the new country, not a secret society's power. The pyramid on the seal means strength and lasting power, and its 13 steps stand for the first 13 states. There's no proof that the people who designed the Great Seal were linked to the Bavarian Illuminati. Also, the real Bavarian Illuminati didn't use the pyramid or the Eye of Providence as their main symbols. They used an owl. Wrong time period. The historical Illuminati was a small group from the late 1700s. To say they, or an older version of them, built structures thousands of years old like the Great Pyramid doesn't make sense with history. There's no old evidence showing a powerful secret group controlling things since ancient Egypt. No proof of secret plans. A lot of evidence from ancient Egypt, writings, artifacts, clearly shows that the pyramids were tombs for kings, built for religious reasons and to honor their rule. There are no old Egyptian records, symbols, or objects that suggest a link to a secret group wanting to rule the world or hiding special knowledge for that purpose. Mixing ideas. The Illuminati conspiracy theory often mixes different historical facts, symbols, and worries into one big story without careful historical or scientific study. It relies a lot on guessing, weak connections, and not trusting official information. In short, the idea that a secret group built the pyramids to show their power is an interesting story for some, but it has no real basis in history, archaeology, or how symbols are actually used. The Illuminati connection to the pyramids is a modern conspiracy theory that misunderstands old symbols and puts today's worries onto ancient buildings. It doesn't give a true understanding of why the pyramids were built. The real story of the pyramids, based on much research, is about amazing human skill, organization, and strong religious beliefs.
Time travel portals. The Great Pyramids, with their ancient mysteries, often spark ideas that go far beyond what we usually think is possible. For thousands of years, these huge stone structures have stood tall, making people wonder how they were built and what their true purpose might be. They are not just famous for their size, but also for the many strange theories that surround them. One such idea is that these pyramids are not just big stone buildings, but actually act as stargates or portals. This means they could be special doorways that allow people to travel through time or even to other dimensions. This theory captures the imagination because it suggests that ancient people had powers or knowledge that we can barely understand today. It hints at a hidden history where the lines between science fiction and reality are blurred, making us question everything we thought we knew about the past. The enduring fascination with the pyramids themselves contributes greatly to the appeal of such theories. Their sheer scale, the precision of their construction, and the fact that they have lasted for so long make them seem almost supernatural. When something is so old and so grand, it's easy for people to imagine that it must have a secret, deeper purpose than what is commonly taught. This desire for extraordinary explanations for extraordinary things is a powerful human trait. The idea of time travel or jumping to other dimensions is a common theme in stories and movies. So when people look at the mysterious pyramids, their minds naturally connect these ancient wonders with modern ideas of impossible technologies. This makes the pyramids as portals theory very exciting and hard to dismiss for many. The pyramids are located in Egypt, a land rich with ancient history and powerful symbols. The most famous are the three Great Pyramids at Giza: Khufu, also known as Cheops, Khafre, and Menkaure. These were built over 4,500 years ago during Egypt's Old Kingdom period. For centuries, people have marveled at how a civilization without modern tools like cranes, steel, or even the wheel for heavy lifting could construct such massive and precise buildings. This mystery creates a space where unusual theories can take root and grow. The official story, supported by archaeologists and historians, is that the pyramids were tombs for pharaohs, the kings of ancient Egypt. They were built to protect the pharaoh's body and possessions for the afterlife and to show his power and connection to the gods. But for some, this explanation feels too simple for such magnificent structures. They believe there must be a more profound, more magical, or even more scientific reason for their existence. This is where the idea of the pyramids as portals comes in. Here are the main ideas behind this theory, explained in more detail. 1. Pyramids as stargates or doorways. This theory suggests that the pyramids are built in a very specific way that lets them open up pathways to other times or places. Imagine a door, but instead of opening into another room, it opens into a different year, like the distant past or the far future, or even into a completely different universe or reality. People who believe this often point to several features of the pyramids that they think are key to this function. They see the pyramids as more than just buildings. They see them as complex machines or devices designed for a purpose far beyond what we currently understand about ancient technology. First, they talk about the pyramid's unique shape. The pyramid shape itself, with its broad base and pointed top, is seen by some as a special geometric form that can focus or channel energy. This idea often comes from concepts of sacred geometry, which suggests that certain shapes have spiritual or energetic power. In this view, the pyramid is not just a building, it's a giant, precisely shaped tool designed to interact with unseen forces. The specific angles and proportions of the Great Pyramid, such as the ratio of its height to its base perimeter, are sometimes said to match mathematical constants like pi and phi, the golden ratio. Believers argue that these precise measurements are not accidental, but were deliberately incorporated to create a structure that could resonate with universal energies. They might suggest that this geometric perfection allows the pyramid to act like a giant antenna capable of capturing and directing cosmic or telluric energies. This focused energy, they claim, is what creates the conditions necessary for a portal to open. The very act of building such a shape, they argue, shows a deep understanding of universal laws that modern science is only beginning to rediscover. Second, the exact alignment of the pyramids with stars is often highlighted. The Great Pyramid, for example, is aligned almost perfectly with true north with an astonishing degree of accuracy. Its air shafts, which are actually narrow passages too small for a person to crawl through, point to specific stars or constellations like Orion's Belt and Sirius, which were important to ancient Egyptian beliefs. While experts say these alignments were for religious reasons or to help with their calendar, portal theorists believe they are much more. They think these alignments are like coordinates or a targeting system used to connect the pyramid to specific points in space and time. They might imagine the pyramid as a giant compass that points not just on Earth, but across the cosmos, locking into specific cosmic locations or time periods. For instance, some theories suggest that the alignment with Orion's belt is not just symbolic, but creates a direct energetic link to that constellation, potentially serving as a destination or origin point for interdimensional travel. This level of astronomical precision, they argue, could not have been achieved by ancient people without advanced knowledge or technology, possibly given to them by beings from other stars. Third, the mysterious internal passages and chambers are seen as parts of a complex machine or system. The King's Chamber, the Queen's Chamber, the Grand Gallery, and other hidden spaces are not just empty rooms, but instead they're thought to be carefully designed components that work together. Some believe these chambers are resonance chambers, meaning they can vibrate at certain frequencies like a musical instrument. These vibrations, combined with the pyramid's shape and alignment, could create a powerful energy field. This field, then, might be what allows the portal to open. The Grand Gallery, with its high corbelled ceiling and unique acoustic properties, is sometimes described as a waveguide or a resonating tunnel, designed to amplify sound or energy frequencies. The King's Chamber, made entirely of granite, is believed to be the central engine of this portal system. Its precise dimensions and the type of granite used are thought to create a specific resonant frequency that can affect the fabric of space-time. They think these features are not just for show, but are part of a complex machine or system designed to create these portals, perhaps by manipulating the very fabric of space and time. The idea is that the pyramid is a giant, sophisticated device, with each part playing a role in its function as a cosmic gateway, allowing for travel to other dimensions or time periods. The air invites such extraordinary travel. 2. Harnessing Earth's energy for travel. This idea is closely linked to theories about pyramids being energy generators. It suggests that the pyramids are built in a way that allows them to collect and focus the Earth's natural energy. Our planet is constantly surrounded and filled with different kinds of energy. This includes the Earth's magnetic field, which is like a giant invisible shield around us. It also includes telluric currents, which are natural electric currents flowing underground, often along geological fault lines or water channels. And there are cosmic energies coming from space, like cosmic rays, solar winds, and other forms of radiation that constantly bombard our planet. The theory proposes that the pyramid structure, with its specific materials and design, acts like a giant antenna or a special kind of lens. It can supposedly gather these energies and focus them to an incredibly high degree. This concentrated energy is then used to power the time travel or interdimensional travel. Think of it like a magnifying glass focusing sunlight to create a hotspot. The pyramid focuses cosmic and Earth energies to create a hotspot in space-time. This hotspot is where the fabric of reality becomes thin, allowing for a portal to open. Some proponents even suggest that the pyramid's location on the Giza plateau is not random, but was chosen because it sits on a powerful ley line or a point in the Earth's energy grid, making it an ideal spot for energy collection. Some believers point to specific materials used in the pyramid. For example, granite, found in the King's Chamber, contains quartz crystals. Quartz is known to have piezoelectric properties, meaning it can create a small electric charge when squeezed or vibrated. The theory suggests that the immense weight of the pyramid stones, or even constant subtle vibrations from the Earth, like microseismic activity, could cause the granite to generate electricity. This electricity, combined with the pyramid shape, could then be used to create the portal. They might imagine this as a continuous.
Atlantis survivors built the pyramids. The Great Pyramids of Giza stand as monumental puzzles, their sheer size and precise construction baffling many who wonder how they could have been built thousands of years ago without modern technology. While archaeologists explain their creation through immense human labor and ingenious ancient methods, some people find these explanations too simple for such awe-inspiring structures. This leads to fascinating alternative theories, and one of the most captivating is the idea that the pyramids were built by survivors of the legendary lost civilization of Atlantis. This theory suggests that these Atlanteans, escaping a terrible disaster, brought their incredibly advanced knowledge and technology to ancient Egypt, using it to construct the pyramids and perhaps even to kickstart civilization as we know it. It's a story that combines ancient mystery, a lost golden age, and the idea of hidden wisdom, making it very appealing to those who believe there's more to history than what is officially taught. The enduring appeal of the Atlantis myth itself is a huge part of why this theory is so popular. Atlantis is described as a powerful, technologically advanced island civilization that existed long ago, but was swallowed by the sea in a single day and night of terrible misfortune. This story, first mentioned by the Greek philosopher Plato, paints a picture of a perfect society with incredible achievements, far beyond what ancient people were thought to be capable of. The idea that such a civilization once existed and that its knowledge might have survived is a powerful draw. When people look at the pyramids and wonder how they were built, the thought of Atlantean survivors, with their superior wisdom, seems to offer a ready answer, connecting two great mysteries of the ancient world. It taps into our desire for a hidden, more glorious past, where humanity had access to incredible powers and understanding. Let's dive deeper into the core ideas of this theory. The Atlantis myth, a golden age lost to the waves. To understand the theory of Atlantean pyramid builders, we first need to understand the story of Atlantis itself. The tale comes from the Greek philosopher Plato, who lived around 400 BC. In his writings Timaeus and Critias, Plato describes Atlantis not as a myth, but as a real historical place. He said it was a powerful island nation, located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which is thought to be the Strait of Gibraltar at the entrance to the Mediterranean Sea. Plato's account describes Atlantis as an incredibly advanced and prosperous civilization. Its people were said to be highly intelligent,
artistic and technologically sophisticated. They built magnificent cities with grand temples, complex canal systems, and advanced engineering feats. Their buildings were adorned with precious metals, and they had a deep understanding of mathematics, astronomy, and the natural world. They were also described as having a harmonious society, at least initially, governed by wise kings descended from the god Poseidon. This was a true golden age, a peak of human or superhuman achievement. The technology of Atlantis, as imagined by proponents of this theory, went far beyond anything known in ancient Egypt, or even in many parts of our modern world. They are believed to have mastered forms of energy that we are only beginning to understand, such as crystal power. It's said they used giant crystals to generate and transmit energy wirelessly, power their cities, and even fly their vehicles. They might have understood anti-gravity, allowing them to lift enormous weights effortlessly. Their knowledge of acoustics, the science of sound, could have been so advanced that they could use sound waves to cut and shape stone with incredible precision, or even to levitate heavy objects. They were masters of engineering, architecture, and perhaps even weather control. This was not just a society with a few clever inventions. It was a civilization operating on a completely different level of scientific and spiritual understanding. However, according to Plato, the Atlanteans eventually became greedy and corrupt. They started to use their power for conquest and domination, losing their spiritual wisdom. As a punishment for their arrogance and moral decline, the gods decided to destroy Atlantis. Plato describes a cataclysmic event, violent earthquakes and floods that occurred in a single day and night, causing the entire island of Atlantis to sink beneath the waves, vanishing into the depths of the ocean. This cataclysmic event marked the end of their glorious civilization, wiping it off the map and leaving only the legend behind. The suddenness and totality of this destruction are key to the theory, as it explains why no obvious ruins of Atlantis have ever been found. The catastrophe and the survivors' escape. The destruction of Atlantis is a central point for the pyramid theory. While the island was swallowed by the sea, the theory suggests that not all Atlanteans perished. A select few, perhaps the wisest priests, the most skilled engineers, or the most spiritually enlightened individuals, foresaw the impending doom. Using their advanced technology and knowledge, they managed to escape the catastrophe. They might have used advanced airships, submersible vessels, or even some form of teleportation to flee their sinking homeland. These survivors carried with them the invaluable knowledge, wisdom, and blueprints of their advanced civilization, becoming refugees in a world that was, by comparison, still in its infancy. These Atlantean survivors, now scattered across the globe, would have sought new lands to settle. The theory suggests that they traveled to various parts of the world, bringing their superior intellect and technology to different nascent civilizations. Egypt is often highlighted as a primary destination, but other locations like Central and South America, where other ancient pyramids and megalithic structures exist, such as those of the Maya and Inca, India, and even parts of Europe are also mentioned as places where Atlantean influence might have been felt. The idea is that these survivors became the gods or culture heroes of various ancient myths, teaching primitive humans agriculture, writing, astronomy, and sophisticated building techniques. They were the bringers of civilization, lifting humanity out of a more primitive state. Arrival in Egypt and the building of the pyramids. When the Atlantean survivors arrived in Egypt, they found a land inhabited by people who were, by Atlantean standards, relatively primitive. However, the Atlanteans recognized the strategic location and the potential of the Nile Valley.
they decided to establish a new center for their knowledge, a place where they could preserve their wisdom and perhaps even rebuild a semblance of their lost civilization. The Giza Plateau, with its stable bedrock and proximity to the Nile, was chosen as the ideal site for their grandest project, the Great Pyramids. The theory claims that the pyramids were not built by the sweat and toil of millions of Egyptian laborers, as mainstream archaeology suggests. Instead, they were constructed using the advanced technology brought from Atlantis. This explanation directly addresses the perceived impossible feats of pyramid building that many people puzzle. Anti-gravity technology. This is one of the most common explanations. Atlanteans are believed to have mastered anti-gravity, allowing them to effortlessly lift and move the colossal stones, some weighing many tons, into place. Imagine massive stones floating through the air, guided by unseen forces, perfectly settling into position. This would explain how the Egyptians could quarry stones from distant locations, like Aswan granite, 800 kilometers away, and raise them to heights of over 140 meters without visible ramps or lifting machinery. The precision with which these blocks are fitted together, so tightly that a razor blade cannot be inserted between them, is also attributed to anti-gravity, allowing for perfect placement. Sound and vibration technology. Another popular idea is that Atlanteans used advanced knowledge of sound and vibration. They could have generated specific sound frequencies that would either levitate the stones or make them incredibly light, allowing a few individuals to move them. Alternatively, they might have used high-frequency vibrations to cut and shape the hard granite and limestone with laser-like precision, creating the perfectly flat surfaces and exact angles seen in the pyramid's construction. This would explain the incredible accuracy of the cuts and the tight joints, which seem beyond the capabilities of copper tools. Crystal power. As mentioned earlier, crystals are central to Atlantean technology in this theory. They're believed to have used large crystals to focus and amplify energy, which could then be used for various purposes, including levitation, cutting, or even creating force fields. These crystals might have been placed within the pyramid's chambers, acting as its power source or control mechanism. The encoded prophecies. The Great Pyramid of Giza stands as one of the most astonishing structures ever built by human hands, a colossal monument that has captivated minds for thousands of years. Its immense size, incredible precision, and mysterious origins have led to countless theories about its true purpose. While mainstream archaeologists widely agree that it was built as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, a fascinating and persistent alternative theory suggests something far more extraordinary, that the very measurements and internal dimensions of the Great Pyramid encode future events, acting as a giant stone prophecy book. This idea, often called pyramidology or pyramid prophecy, claims that the pyramid holds secrets about humanity's destiny, including major historical turning points, wars, natural disasters, and even predictions about the end of the world or the dawn of a new age. It's a theory that appeals to a deep human desire to understand the future and to find hidden meanings in ancient wonders. The appeal of this theory comes from several sources. First, the pyramids, especially the Great Pyramid, are undeniably impressive. Their precise construction, astronomical alignments, and sheer scale seem to hint at a knowledge beyond what we typically imagine for ancient times. This makes it easy for people to believe that such a magnificent structure must hold a profound secret, something more than just a burial chamber. Second, there's a human fascination with prophecy and predicting the future. Throughout history, people have sought signs and omens to understand what lies ahead. The idea that a massive, ancient monument could contain a hidden timeline of human history is incredibly compelling.
It suggests a grand design, a preordained path, and perhaps even a divine hand guiding events. Third, the theory often connects with spiritual or religious beliefs, particularly Christian prophecies about the end times or the second coming, giving it a deeper meaning for many adherents. It offers a sense of certainty and purpose in an uncertain world, suggesting that even chaotic events are part of a larger, knowable plan. Let's explore the core ideas of this theory, how its proponents read the pyramid's prophecies, and what mainstream science and history have to say about it. The core idea, the pyramid as a prophetic book in stone. At its heart, the theory of encoded prophecies in pyramid measurements believes that the Great Pyramid is not just a building, but a deliberately designed message from a highly intelligent source. This source could be ancient Egyptians with advanced lost knowledge, or even extraterrestrials, or a divine power. The key is that the pyramid's dimensions, angles, and the lengths of its passages are not random. Instead, they are believed to be carefully chosen to represent specific periods of time or to mark significant events in human history, both past and future. This idea, often called pyramidology or pyramid prophecy, claims that the pyramid holds secrets about humanity's destiny, including major historical turning points, wars, natural disasters, and even predictions about the end of the world or the dawn of a new age. It's a theory that appeals to a deep human desire to understand the future and to find hidden meanings in ancient wonders. The core idea, the pyramid as a prophetic book in stone. At its heart, the theory of encoded prophecies in pyramid measurements believes that the Great Pyramid is not just a building, but a deliberately designed message from a highly intelligent source. This source could be ancient Egyptians with advanced lost knowledge, or even extraterrestrials, or a divine power. The key is that the pyramid's dimensions, angles, and the lengths of its passages are not random. Instead, they are believed to be carefully chosen to represent specific periods of time or to mark significant events in human history, both past and future. This idea, often called pyramidology or pyramid prophecy, claims that the pyramid holds secrets about humanity's destiny, including major historical turning points, wars, natural disasters, and even predictions about the end of the world or the dawn of a new age. It's a theory that appeals to a deep human desire to understand the future and to find hidden meanings in ancient wonders. The core idea, the pyramid as a prophetic book in stone. At its heart, the theory of encoded prophecies in pyramid measurements believes that the Great Pyramid is not just a building, but a deliberately designed message from a highly intelligent source. This source could be ancient Egyptians with advanced lost knowledge, or even extraterrestrials, or a divine power. The key is that the pyramid's dimensions, angles, and the lengths of its passages are not random. Instead, they are believed to be carefully chosen to represent specific periods of time or to mark significant events in human history, both past and future. Proponents of this theory often refer to the pyramid as a Bible in stone or a prophetic scroll carved in rock. They believe that its builders intended it to be a permanent record of the future, a timeline that would only be understood when humanity reached a certain level of awareness or when certain events began to unfold. This idea implies that the builders had foreknowledge of thousands of years of human history, a claim that challenges conventional understanding of ancient capabilities. The pyramid, in this view, is a static, unchanging monument that reveals a dynamic, unfolding future. The method of reading these prophecies involves converting physical measurements within the pyramid into units of time. This is where the concept of the pyramid inch comes in, a unit of measurement that is slightly larger than a standard inch, about 1.001 British inches.
This pyramid inch is then often equated to a year, or sometimes a month, a decade, or even a century, depending on the specific interpretation and the passage being measured. The flexibility in choosing these conversion rates is a key point of contention for critics, but for believers, it's part of the pyramid's complex code. The theory suggests that the pyramid's external features, such as its height and base perimeter, encode grand cosmic or historical constants, but it's the internal passages and chambers that are believed to hold the most detailed prophetic timeline. Each change in direction, each step, each chamber, and especially the length of each passage is interpreted as marking a specific period or event in human history. The theory often focuses on the main pathways, the descending passage, the ascending passage, and the grand gallery, as well as the king's chamber and queen's chamber. Key elements and evidence cited by proponents. To understand how these prophecies are supposedly read, let's look at the specific elements and measurements that pyramidologists use. The pyramid inch and timescale. The foundation of many pyramid prophecies is the pyramid inch. This unit was first proposed in the 19th century by John Taylor and later popularized by Charles Piazzi Smith, the Astronomer Royal for Scotland. They believed that the builders of the Great Pyramid used a specific divine unit of measurement that was slightly different from the standard British inch. This pyramid inch, about 1.001 British inches, is then often equated to a year, or sometimes a month, a decade, or even a century, depending on the specific interpretation and the passage being measured. The flexibility in choosing these conversion rates is a key point of contention for critics, but for believers, it's part of the pyramid's complex code. The theory suggests that the pyramid's external features, such as its height and base perimeter, encode grand cosmic or historical constants, but it's the internal passages and chambers that are believed to hold the most detailed prophetic timeline. Each change in direction, each step, each chamber, and especially the length of each passage is interpreted as marking a specific period or event in human history. The theory often focuses on the main pathways, the descending passage, the ascending passage, and the grand gallery, as well as the king's chamber and queen's chamber. Key elements and evidence cited by proponents. To understand how these prophecies are supposedly read, let's look at the specific elements and measurements that pyramidologists use. The pyramid inch and timescale. The foundation of many pyramid prophecies is the pyramid inch. This unit was first proposed in the 19th century by John Taylor and later popularized by Charles Piazzi Smith, the Astronomer Royal for Scotland. They believed that the builders of the Great Pyramid used a specific divine unit of measurement that was slightly different from the standard British inch. This pyramid inch, about 1.001 British inches, is then often equated to a year, or sometimes a month, a decade, or even a century, depending on the specific interpretation and the passage being measured. The flexibility in choosing these conversion rates is a key point of pyramids on every continent were connected. The Great Pyramids of Giza, standing majestically in Egypt, are just one famous example of pyramid-shaped structures found across the globe. From the dense jungles of Mesoamerica to the vast plains of China, and even in less expected places, these monumental constructions appear in various forms. This widespread presence has led to a fascinating and far-reaching theory that all pyramids around the world, despite being separated by vast oceans and thousands of years, were part of a single ancient global civilization or an interconnected energy grid. This idea suggests that humanity's past is far more complex and unified than mainstream history teaches, hinting at a lost golden age of global communication and advanced technology.
It's a theory that challenges our understanding of ancient cultures and ignites the imagination with the possibility of a forgotten, powerful world. The appeal of this theory is immense, drawing on several deep-seated human curiosities. First, there's the sheer wonder that such similar, massive structures could appear in places so far apart, seemingly without contact between the builders. This visual similarity makes people question how it could just be a coincidence. Second, it taps into the desire for a grand, unified explanation for humanity's origins and early achievements. Instead of separate, struggling civilizations, the idea of a single advanced global culture offers a more romantic and powerful vision of the past. Third, it often connects with concepts of lost advanced technology or spiritual wisdom, suggesting that these ancient people knew things we've forgotten, things that allowed them to build on such an incredible scale and with such precision. This theory provides a sense of hidden knowledge and a secret history waiting to be uncovered, which is very compelling for many. It suggests that the pyramids are not just static monuments, but active components of a vast, forgotten system, hinting at a level of global cooperation and knowledge that defies conventional historical timelines. Let's explore the core ideas of this theory, the evidence its proponents present, and the counter-arguments from mainstream science and archaeology. The core idea: a single ancient global civilization or energy grid. At its heart, the theory of connected pyramids proposes that these structures are not the independent creations of isolated cultures. Instead, they are seen as remnants of a single, highly advanced global civilization that existed in the distant past. This civilization, often identified as the legendary Atlantis or a similar lost continent, possessed superior knowledge and technology. When this civilization faced a catastrophic end, like the sinking of Atlantis, its survivors supposedly spread out across the world, bringing their building techniques and wisdom to various regions. They then guided or directly helped the local populations to construct pyramids, embedding their advanced knowledge into these enduring stone monuments. Alternatively, or in addition to a single civilization, the theory suggests that the pyramids formed part of an intricate worldwide energy grid. In this view, each pyramid acted as a node or a power station designed to tap into and transmit the Earth's natural energies. These energies could be electromagnetic fields, telluric currents, electrical currents flowing through the Earth, or even cosmic energies. The pyramids, with their specific shapes, materials, and alignments, were supposedly engineered to collect, amplify, and distribute this energy across the planet. This global energy network could have powered ancient cities, provided light as suggested by Dendara light theories, or even facilitated communication across vast distances. The idea is that the pyramids were not just static buildings, but dynamic components of a living planetary system designed to harness and manage the fundamental forces of the Earth. This theory implies that the builders of these pyramids, regardless of their geographical location, shared a common understanding of advanced physics, geometry, and cosmology. They knew about the Earth's energy lines, the precise mathematical ratios needed for energy manipulation, and the astronomical alignments that could enhance these effects. This shared knowledge, proponents argue, points to a single source of instruction or a unified global culture that predates recorded history. The pyramids therefore become a testament to a forgotten era of global unity and technological mastery, a time when humanity, or its advanced predecessors, lived in harmony with the planet's energies. Key arguments and evidence cited by proponents. Proponents of the global pyramid network theory gather various pieces of evidence from around the world to support their claims. They often focus on perceived similarities and anomalies that they believe cannot be explained by independent cultural development. Architectural similarities across continents. The pyramid shape itself, The most obvious evidence is the widespread appearance of the pyramid shape. From the stepped pyramids of Mesoamerica, like Chichen Itza in Mexico or Tikal in Guatemala, to the smooth-sided pyramids of Egypt and the earthen mounds of China, the basic triangular form rising to an apex is seen as a universal architectural motif. They argued that this specific shape is too unique and complex to have emerged independently in so many different cultures. They suggest that the pyramid shape itself holds a special energetic or symbolic significance, known to a shared ancient global culture. They might highlight the fact that pyramids are found on almost every continent, excluding Antarctica, though some speculative theories place them there too, suggesting a widespread building tradition. Beyond the shape, proponents point to the incredible precision and massive scale of many pyramids. The precise cutting and fitting of stones at sites like Sacsayhuaman in Peru, or the astronomical alignments of pyramids in Mexico, like the Pyramid of the Sun at Teotihuacan, are seen as matching the engineering marvels of Egypt. This implies a shared advanced knowledge of masonry, surveying, and astronomy that could only come from a common source. They question how cultures separated by thousands of miles and years could achieve such similar levels of engineering excellence without direct contact or a shared heritage. Precise alignments and geographical placement. Astronomical alignments. Many pyramids around the world exhibit precise alignments with celestial bodies, such as stars, solstices, and equinoxes. The Great Pyramid of Giza is famously aligned with true north. The Pyramid of the Sun at Teotihuacan is aligned with the setting sun on the spring equinox. Proponents argue that these consistent astronomical alignments across different cultures are too numerous and too accurate to be coincidental. They suggest that these alignments were part of a global system, perhaps used for navigation, timekeeping, or even to tap into cosmic energies. Some theories go further, suggesting that pyramids are deliberately placed on specific Lie lines, hypothetical energy lines or grids that crisscross the Earth. They claim that if you draw lines connecting major pyramid sites around the world, they form geometric patterns or align with powerful energy points on the planet. This would mean the builders of these pyramids had a global understanding of the Earth's energy grid, placing pyramids as nodes in a worldwide network designed to harness and distribute this energy. They might point to the fact that many ancient sacred sites, not just pyramids, are found on these supposed Lie lines, suggesting a unified global plan. Shared advanced knowledge and technology. Beyond primitive tools, the perceived impossible feats of pyramid construction, moving massive stones, precise cutting, are central to this argument. Proponents argue that ancient Egyptians, Mayans, or Chinese people, with their known primitive tools, could not have achieved such marvels independently. Therefore, a common source of advanced technology or knowledge must have been involved. This technology could include anti-gravity devices, allowing stones to float, sound levitation, advanced cutting tools like lasers or sonic cutters, or crystal energy. Universal understanding of physics. This theory implies that the global civilization possessed a universal understanding of physics, mathematics, and engineering that allowed them to apply the same principles to build pyramids across different continents. This knowledge might have included an understanding of resonance, electromagnetism, and the properties of different materials, all used to create structures that could interact with planetary energies. Pyramids as nodes in a worldwide energy network. Energy generation. This is a key component of the global grid theory. Each pyramid is seen as a power station or a capacitor designed to collect and focus the Earth's natural energies. The specific materials used, like quartz-rich granite in Egypt or volcanic stone in Mesoamerica, the internal chambers, and the precise geometry are all interpreted as components of this energy harnessing system. For example,
Mind control. The Great Pyramids of Giza, these enormous and ancient stone structures, continue to spark endless theories about their true purpose. Beyond being tombs for pharaohs, some people believe they had a much stranger and more powerful function, that the pyramids were used for mind control. This theory claims that the pyramids were designed to emit special frequencies or energies that could influence or even directly control the thoughts, feelings, and consciousness of human beings. It's a highly controversial idea that suggests ancient builders possessed a terrifying power over the human mind, a power that could have been used for various purposes, from keeping people calm and obedient to enhancing their spiritual awareness. This theory taps into fears about hidden control and the unknown capabilities of ancient civilizations, making it a truly unsettling and fascinating concept for many. The appeal of such a theory often comes from a mixture of wonder and suspicion. The pyramids are undeniably impressive, built with a precision that still amazes us. This leads some to believe that their builders must have had knowledge far beyond what we imagine, perhaps even secret powers. At the same time, there's a natural human distrust of hidden power and control. The idea that such a grand structure could secretly manipulate people's minds touches on deep-seated anxieties about freedom and autonomy. It suggests that our ancestors might have been subjected to a subtle, invisible form of control, making us question the very nature of ancient societies. Furthermore, the theory often connects with other ideas about lost technologies, ancient aliens, or secret societies, creating a complex web of interconnected beliefs that reinforce each other. It offers a dramatic and unsettling explanation for the enduring mystery of the pyramids, suggesting they were not just monuments, but active instruments of influence. Let's dive into the core ideas of this theory, how it suggests the pyramids might have worked, the reasons for such a purpose, and what mainstream science and archaeology say about these claims. The core idea: pyramids as giant consciousness influencers. At its heart, the theory of pyramids as mind-controlled devices believes that these massive stone structures were not just static buildings. Instead, they were deliberately designed as giant machines or instruments capable of affecting human consciousness. This effect could range from subtle influence to direct control over the thoughts, feelings, and consciousness of human beings. It's a highly controversial idea that suggests ancient builders possessed a terrifying power over the human mind, a power that could have been used for various purposes, from keeping people calm and obedient to enhancing their spiritual awareness. This theory taps into fears about hidden control and the unknown capabilities of ancient civilizations, making it a truly unsettling and fascinating concept for many. The appeal of such a theory often comes from a mixture of wonder and suspicion. The pyramids are undeniably impressive, built with a precision that still amazes us. This leads some to believe that their builders must have had knowledge far beyond what we imagine, perhaps even secret powers. At the same time, there's a natural human distrust of hidden power and control. The idea that such a grand structure could secretly manipulate people's minds touches on deep-seated anxieties about freedom and autonomy. It suggests that our ancestors might have been subjected to a subtle, invisible form of control, making us question the very nature of ancient societies. Furthermore, the theory often connects with other ideas about lost technologies, ancient aliens, or secret societies, creating a complex web of interconnected beliefs that reinforce each other. It offers a dramatic and unsettling explanation for the enduring mystery of the pyramids, suggesting they were not just monuments, but active instruments of influence. Let's dive into the core ideas of this theory. how it suggests the pyramids might have worked, the reasons for such a purpose, and what mainstream science and archaeology say about these claims. The core idea: pyramids as giant consciousness influencers. At its heart, the theory of pyramids as mind control devices believes that these massive stone structures were not just static buildings. Instead, they were deliberately designed as giant machines or instruments capable of affecting human consciousness. This effect could range from subtle influence to direct control over the thoughts, feelings, and consciousness of human beings. This theory implies that the builders of the pyramids had an incredibly advanced understanding of the human mind, brainwaves, and the subtle energies of the earth and cosmos. This knowledge would have allowed them to engineer a structure that could precisely tune into and manipulate these energies to achieve a desired effect on consciousness. The pyramid, in this view, is a sophisticated psychoenergetic device, a tool for mass psychological influence or spiritual engineering. Proposed mechanisms: how pyramids might influence the mind. To explain how a pyramid could achieve mind control or consciousness influence, proponents suggest several mechanisms, often blending scientific-sounding terms with speculative concepts. Electromagnetic frequencies. This is one of the most common explanations. The Earth has a natural electromagnetic field, and the theory suggests that the pyramid's shape and materials could interact with this field. Resonance and amplification. The unique geometry of the pyramid, with its specific angles and proportions, is believed to create a resonant cavity. This means it could amplify certain natural electromagnetic frequencies, much like a tuning fork amplifies sound waves. These amplified frequencies could then be emitted outwards or concentrated within the pyramid's chambers. Material properties. The materials used in the Great Pyramid are often highlighted. Limestone, which covered the outside, is an insulator. Granite, used in the king's chamber, contains quartz crystals. Quartz is piezoelectric, meaning it can produce a small electric charge when put under pressure or vibrated. Proponents suggest that the immense weight of the pyramid's stones, or even subtle earth vibrations, could cause the granite to generate electromagnetic pulses. These pulses, amplified by the pyramid's shape, could then be broadcast. Interaction with brain waves. The human brain operates using electrical signals, which can be measured as brain waves: alpha, beta, theta, delta. The theory suggests that the frequencies emitted by the pyramid could be tuned to specific brainwave states. By matching or entraining these brainwaves, the pyramid could induce states of calm, alertness, fear, or even suggestibility. For example, emitting alpha waves might create a meditative or peaceful state, while other frequencies could make people more compliant or less likely to question authority. Sound and vibration. The acoustics within the pyramid's chambers are sometimes emphasized. Sonic resonance. The theory suggests that specific sounds or chants performed within the pyramid, or even natural vibrations from the earth, could be amplified and focused by the pyramid structure. These amplified sound waves, particularly low-frequency sounds that are felt more than heard, could directly affect the human body and brain. Brainwave entrainment through sound. Similar to electromagnetic frequencies, specific sound frequencies can also induce brainwave entrainment. By creating a rhythmic sonic environment, the pyramid could subtly guide the brain into desired states of consciousness. This might have been used during ancient rituals or ceremonies to create a shared, altered state among participants, making them more receptive to ideas or commands. Subtle energies and unknown forces. Some versions of the theory go beyond known physics, suggesting that pyramids can harness more esoteric or subtle energies. Pyramid energy. This is a widely discussed concept in New Age and alternative science circles. It claims that the pyramid shape itself, regardless of material, generates a unique energy field that can preserve food, sharpen razor blades, or improve plant growth. The mind control theory extends this, suggesting this pyramid energy can also influence consciousness. Orgone energy. Some theories connect pyramids to concepts like orgone energy, a hypothetical life force proposed by Wilhelm Reich. They suggest pyramids could accumulate and direct such energies to influence biological systems, including the human mind. Torsion fields or scalar waves. More speculative theories involve concepts like torsion fields or scalar waves, hypothetical forms of energy that are not part of mainstream physics, but are sometimes invoked in alternative science to explain phenomena like telepathy or consciousness manipulation.
The Vatican knows the truth. While archaeologists and historians widely agree on their purpose as tombs for pharaohs and monuments to their divine rule, a powerful and widespread conspiracy theory suggests that the true story of these colossal structures is far more extraordinary, and that this truth is being deliberately hidden. At the heart of this particular theory lies the Vatican, the spiritual and administrative center of the Roman Catholic Church, which is accused by believers of secretly possessing and concealing ancient texts, artifacts, and knowledge that would reveal the pyramid's actual origin, their incredible power, and perhaps even humanity's true history. This is a theory that taps into deep-seated suspicions about powerful institutions, the allure of forbidden knowledge, and the human desire for a more dramatic and mysterious past. The appeal of such a claim is multifaceted. First, the Vatican itself, with its ancient origins, immense wealth, global influence, and vast, often restricted archives, naturally becomes a target for theories involving hidden information. Its long history, stretching back millennia, and its role in shaping Western civilization make it a plausible candidate for a keeper of ancient secrets. Second, the pyramids themselves are so grand and mysterious that many people feel their conventional explanation as mere tombs is insufficient. This leaves a void that alternative theories eagerly fill. Third, the idea of hidden knowledge is incredibly compelling. It suggests that there's a profound truth about our world and our past that is being deliberately kept from us, implying a grand conspiracy that affects all of humanity. This narrative often resonates with those who feel a general distrust of authority or who believe that official histories are incomplete or deliberately misleading. It offers a sense of being in on a secret, of seeing through the veil of official narratives. The theory suggests that the Church, driven by a desire to maintain its power, control, or religious dogma, has systematically suppressed information that would challenge its authority or the accepted view of human history. Let's delve deeply into the core claims of this conspiracy theory, explore why the Vatican is singled out, examine the alleged hidden information, consider the supposed reasons for the cover-up, and finally present the mainstream historical and scientific perspective. The central claim: the Vatican as the ultimate custodian of pyramid secrets. At its core, this conspiracy theory asserts that the Vatican holds the definitive answers to the pyramid's greatest mysteries. It's not just that they might have some information, it's that they possess the complete truth, the missing pieces of the puzzle that would revolutionize our understanding of ancient history, technology, and even the origins of human civilization. This truth, according to believers, is so profound and potentially disruptive that the Vatican has chosen to keep it under wraps, locked away in its secret archives, far from the prying eyes of historians, archaeologists, and the general public. The claim often specifies that the Vatican is hiding ancient texts, These are imagined to be scrolls, tablets, or books from ancient Egypt, Atlantis, or even extraterrestrial civilizations that explicitly detailed the pyramid's construction methods. Their true purpose, for example, as energy generators, time travel portals, or mind control devices. These texts might also contain information about humanity's true origins, perhaps revealing a connection to alien beings or a highly advanced prehistoric civilization. Artifacts. Beyond texts, the Vatican is alleged to possess physical artifacts unearthed from ancient sites, particularly from Egypt, that demonstrate advanced technology beyond what ancient Egyptians are credited with. These could be tools, devices, or even remnants of alien technology that prove the pyramids were not built by conventional means. These artifacts might be stored in secret vaults beneath the Vatican, never to see the light of day. Maps and blueprints. Some versions of the theory suggest the Vatican holds maps of undiscovered pyramids or ancient sites, or even blueprints detailing the inner workings of the Great Pyramid as a complex machine. Evidence of pre-flood civilizations. The Vatican is also accused of hiding evidence of highly advanced civilizations that existed before a great flood, like Atlantis, whose survivors might have built the pyramids. This would challenge the traditional biblical timeline and the Church's narrative of early human history. The theory implies that the Vatican's knowledge is not just historical, but also functional. They don't just know how the pyramids worked, they might even understand how to activate their hidden powers, making them a unique repository of ancient technology that could be used for immense power or control. Why the Vatican? The role of a powerful, ancient, and secretive institution. The choice of the Vatican as the alleged keeper of these secrets is not random. It stems from several factors that make it a compelling target for conspiracy theories. Vast and ancient archives. The Vatican Apostolic Library and the Vatican Secret Archives, now called the Vatican Apostolic Archive, are legendary for their immense collections. They house millions of documents spanning over 1,000 years, including historical records, papal correspondence, theological treatises, and ancient manuscripts. While many of these documents are accessible to qualified scholars, the sheer volume and the historical restrictions on some sections, common for any sensitive archive, fuel the idea that something truly extraordinary is being hidden. The very term secret archives, though secret originally meant private or personal to the Pope, contributes to this mystique. Believers imagine vast, unexplored vaults containing forbidden knowledge. Historical power and influence. The Roman Catholic Church has been a dominant force in Western civilization for nearly 2 millennia. It held immense political, social, and intellectual power, particularly during the Middle Ages, influencing everything from scientific thought to the interpretation of history. This historical power, combined with instances where the Church suppressed ideas deemed heretical or contrary to its doctrines, creates a narrative of an institution capable of and willing to control information. Conspiracy theorists extrapolate from these historical examples to suggest a continuous pattern of information suppression, religious dogma, and narrative control. The Church's teachings are based on specific religious dogmas and a particular interpretation of human history, often rooted in biblical accounts. The revelation that pyramids were built by aliens, or that they were advanced energy devices, or that a sophisticated pre-biblical civilization existed, could fundamentally challenge these established doctrines. It could undermine the Church's authority as the sole interpreter of divine truth and the custodian of humanity's spiritual path. Therefore, proponents argue, the Church has a vested interest in suppressing any information that contradicts its foundational narrative, especially regarding creation, human origins, and the role of divine intervention, perceived secrecy and elitism. Despite efforts to increase transparency, the Vatican maintains an air of secrecy due to its hierarchical structure, its private diplomatic dealings, and the nature of its spiritual authority. This perceived secrecy, combined with the notion of an elite, select group of cardinals and officials who hold ultimate power, makes it an ideal candidate for a conspiracy theory involving hidden knowledge. Believers often imagine a cabal within the Vatican that makes decisions for the entire world, including what historical truths are revealed or concealed. Symbolic connections. While not directly linked to the Vatican, the all-seeing eye and pyramid symbols, often associated with the Illuminati, are sometimes woven into this theory. If these symbols represent a hidden power structure, then the Vatican, as a powerful and ancient institution, is either seen as part of that structure or a key player in its information control. The idea that the Church has absorbed or co-opted ancient pagan symbols and knowledge is also a common theme in esoteric conspiracy theories, further linking it to ancient mysteries. The alleged hidden information. What truths are they suppressing? The types of truths the Vatican is accused of hiding are directly tied to the more sensational theories about the pyramids themselves. The pyramids as energy generators. If the pyramids were indeed giant energy plants, harnessing the Earth's electromagnetic field, the Vatican would be hiding the blueprints or knowledge of this free, limitless energy. This would prevent humanity from achieving energy independence, thus maintaining control over global resources and economy.
Star maps for aliens. This theory continued to inspire a wealth of theories that stretch the boundaries of conventional history and science. Among the most compelling and widely discussed of these ideas is the belief that the precise alignment of these ancient structures, particularly with constellations like Orion's Belt, is not merely coincidental, but a deliberate design. This theory suggests that the pyramids were placed and oriented with such astronomical precision as a form of communication with, or a beacon for, alien life. It posits that the builders, whether ancient Egyptians with lost, advanced knowledge or extraterrestrial beings themselves, intended these monumental structures to serve as cosmic signals, landing markers, or even parts of a vast interstellar communication network. This idea taps into humanity's enduring fascination with life beyond Earth, the mystery of ancient achievements, and the desire to find a grand, hidden purpose behind the world's most iconic monuments. The allure of this theory is profound, resonating with those who feel that the conventional explanations for the pyramid's construction fall short of their perceived grandeur and precision. The sheer scale of the structures, coupled with their undeniable astronomical alignments, seems to hint at a knowledge far beyond what we typically attribute to ancient civilizations. This creates a fertile ground for speculation, where the gaps in our understanding are filled with the exciting possibility of extraterrestrial involvement. The idea that humanity is not alone in the universe and that evidence of alien contact might be embedded in our most ancient monuments is a powerful draw. It offers a dramatic reinterpretation of history, suggesting a cosmic connection that profoundly shaped early human civilization. This theory provides a sense of hidden meaning and a secret history waiting to be uncovered, which is very compelling for many. It suggests that the pyramids are not just static monuments, but active components of a vast forgotten system, hinting at a level of global cooperation and knowledge that defies conventional historical timelines. Let's delve deeply into the core claims of this conspiracy theory, explore how its proponents interpret the alignments, examine the alleged purpose of such a cosmic connection, consider the evidence they present, and finally, offer the mainstream historical and scientific perspective. The core idea: pyramids as cosmic beacons or landing markers. At its heart, the theory of pyramids aligning with star maps for alien contact asserts that the Great Pyramids are not just terrestrial structures. Instead, they are seen as deliberately engineered components of a system designed to interact with extraterrestrial intelligence. The builders, whether ancient Egyptians who received advanced knowledge or actual alien visitors themselves, intended these monumental structures to serve as a message, a guide, or even a functional part of interstellar travel or communication. This theory implies that the builders possessed an incredibly advanced understanding of astronomy, mathematics, and even interstellar travel that far surpasses what we conventionally attribute to ancient civilizations. This knowledge, proponents argue, could only have come from an extraterrestrial source or from a lost, highly advanced human civilization, like Atlantis, that had previously made contact with aliens. Key elements and evidence cited by proponents. To support their claims, proponents of the pyramid star map theory point to several specific alignments and perceived anomalies which they believe cannot be explained by conventional archaeology. The Aryan correlation theory, OCT, is the most famous and central piece of evidence for the theory. Popularized by Robert Bauval in the 1990s, the OCT proposes that the three main pyramids of the Giza Plateau, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure, are precisely aligned on the ground to mirror the three stars of Orion's belt, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintika in the constellation Orion. The offset of Menkaure. Proponents highlight that the smallest of the three Giza pyramids, Menkaure, is slightly offset from the diagonal line formed by Khufu and Khafre. This offset, they claim, perfectly matches the slight offset of Mintaka, the faintest star in Orion's belt, from the line formed by Alnitak and Alnilam. This perceived match is seen as too precise to be accidental. Precession and the snapshot in time. The theory further suggests that this alignment was not perfect at the time the pyramids were built, around 2500 BCE. Instead, it was perfect at an earlier, much older date, around 10,500 BCE, due to the phenomenon of precession of the equinoxes, the slow wobble of the Earth's axis, which causes the apparent position of stars to shift over thousands of years. This implies that the pyramids were either built much earlier than conventionally believed by a lost civilization or aliens, or that the builders had knowledge of precession and deliberately encoded a snapshot of the sky from 10,500 BCE, a period often associated with the mythical Atlantis. This snapshot in time is seen as a deliberate message from a distant past, perhaps from alien visitors who arrived during that era. The air shafts and stellar alignments. The narrow passages, often called air shafts, leading from the King's Chamber and Queen's Chamber in the Great Pyramid, are also central to the theory. While mainstream Egyptology identifies them as symbolic passages for the pharaoh's soul to ascend to the stars, proponents interpret them as functional conduits or targeting devices. King's Chamber shafts. The southern shaft from the King's Chamber points directly to the star Alnitak in Orion's belt. The northern shaft points to Thuban, a star in the constellation Draco, which was the pole star around 2500 BCE. Queen's Chamber shafts. The southern shaft from the Queen's Chamber points to Sirius, the brightest star in the sky important to Egyptian mythology. The northern shaft points to Ursa Minor. Functional interpretation. Proponents argue that these precise stellar alignments are not merely symbolic but indicate that the shafts were designed for communication or observation of these specific stars, perhaps as part of a guidance system for alien spacecraft or to receive cosmic energies. They might suggest that the shafts were once lined with conductive materials or contained devices that allowed for this interaction. Perceived impossible precision for ancient Egyptians. A recurring argument is that the level of astronomical and geographical precision required for these alignments was beyond the capabilities of ancient Egyptians using their known tools and knowledge. Lack of advanced instruments. How could they achieve such perfect alignments without telescopes, modern surveying equipment, or precise timekeeping devices? This perceived technological gap is filled with the idea of alien assistance or a lost superior technology. Global alignment. Some theories extend this to suggest that pyramids around the world are also aligned with specific stars or cosmic patterns, forming a global network of stargates or communication points, indicating a unified, alien-influenced plan. Connections to ancient astronaut theories. The star alignment theory fits seamlessly into the broader ancient astronaut hypothesis. If the pyramids are aligned with stars for alien contact, then it logically follows that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in the past. The pyramids become a tangible legacy of this ancient contact. Aliens as gods or teachers. These alien visitors are often identified with the gods or culture heroes described in ancient myths, who supposedly brought advanced knowledge and technology to early human civilizations. The pyramids then become a tangible legacy of this ancient contact. Purpose of contact. The purpose of this contact could have been to guide human development, to establish a base on Earth, or to use Earth as a waypoint in interstellar travel. The pyramids in this view are a permanent record of this interaction, waiting for humanity to rediscover their true meaning or for the aliens to return. Messages encoded in alignments. Beyond mere communication, some proponents suggest that the specific patterns of alignment, the choice of stars, and the relationships between the pyramids encode complex messages. These could be scientific data, historical records of alien civilizations, or even warnings about future cosmic events. The pyramids become a vast, encrypted cosmic library waiting for the right key to unlock its secrets. Mainstream scientific and archaeological rebuttal. Human ingenuity, religious symbolism, and misinterpretation. The theory that the pyramids align with The pyramids are antennas for solar energy continue to be a wellspring of imaginative theories that challenge our conventional understanding of ancient history. Beyond their widely accepted role as tombs for pharaohs, some intriguing and highly speculative ideas suggest a far more technologically advanced purpose. One such theory posits that these magnificent structures were not merely static monuments, but were ingeniously designed to harvest and beam solar energy, effectively acting as giant, ancient transmitters. This concept paints a picture of a lost, sophisticated civilization that understood how to tap into the sun's power on an immense scale, using the pyramids as key components in a global energy system. It's a theory that combines the allure of ancient mystery with the promise of free, clean energy, captivating those who believe humanity once possessed knowledge far beyond our current grasp. The appeal of this theory is multifaceted, drawing on several deep-seated human fascinations. Firstly, the sun has always been a source of life and power, and the idea of ancient peoples harnessing its energy on a grand scale is inherently captivating. It suggests a harmony with nature and a technological prowess that modern society still strives to achieve. Secondly, the pyramids themselves, with their geometric precision and monumental scale, seem to hint at a deeper, more complex purpose than simple burial.
Their sheer presence invites speculation about hidden functions and advanced engineering. Thirdly, the concept often intertwines with other popular alternative theories, such as the existence of a lost civilization like Atlantis or the influence of extraterrestrial beings, providing a grand, unified narrative for humanity's ancient past. This theory offers a dramatic reinterpretation of history, suggesting that our ancestors were not primitive, but highly advanced, capable of feats we are only now beginning to comprehend. It provides a sense of hidden knowledge and a secret history waiting to be uncovered, which is very compelling for many. It suggests that the pyramids are not just static monuments, but active components of a vast, forgotten system, hinting at a level of global cooperation and knowledge that defies conventional historical timelines. Let's delve deeply into the core claims of this theory, explore how its proponents interpret the pyramid's features, examine the alleged purpose of such a solar energy system, consider the evidence they present, and finally, offer the mainstream historical and scientific perspective. The core idea: pyramids as ancient solar power stations. At its heart, the theory of pyramids as solar energy antennas asserts that these massive stone structures were not just static buildings. Instead, they were deliberately engineered as giant machines or instruments capable of collecting, converting, and transmitting solar energy. The builders, whether ancient Egyptians with lost advanced knowledge or even an earlier, more sophisticated global civilization like Atlanteans, understood principles of energy harvesting that we are only now rediscovering. Proponents suggest that the pyramid acts like a huge solar collector and transmitter. Unlike modern solar panels that convert sunlight directly into electricity, this theory often proposes a more complex, perhaps resonant method of energy capture. The unique shape of the pyramid, its specific materials, and its precise orientation to the sun are believed to be crucial to this function. The theory implies that the builders possessed an incredibly advanced understanding of physics, particularly optics, electromagnetism, and resonant frequencies, that far surpasses what is conventionally attributed to ancient civilizations. They would have known how to concentrate solar radiation, convert it into a usable form of energy, and then beam it wirelessly across vast distances. The pyramid in this view is a sophisticated piece of ancient energy infrastructure, a forgotten power plant designed to fuel a technologically advanced ancient world. Proposed mechanisms: how pyramids might harvest and transmit solar energy. To explain how a pyramid could achieve solar energy harvesting and transmission, proponents suggest several speculative mechanisms, often blending scientific-sounding terms with hypothetical concepts. Shape as a concentrator. The pyramid's iconic shape, with its four sloping sides converging to an apex, is seen as ideal for concentrating solar energy. Light focusing. Some suggest that the pyramid's angles were precisely designed to focus sunlight on specific points, either on its surface or within its internal chambers. This concentrated light could then be converted into another form of energy. Imagine a giant lens made of stone, designed to gather and intensify the sun's rays throughout the day. Resonant cavity. The pyramid's internal geometry and dimensions are believed to create a resonant cavity. This means it could amplify certain frequencies of solar radiation, much like a musical instrument amplifies sound waves. This amplified energy could then be harvested. Material properties and conversion. The materials used in the Great Pyramid are often highlighted as key to its energy-converting function. Outer casing stones. The Great Pyramid was originally covered in highly polished white Tura limestone. This material was exceptionally reflective, making the pyramid shine brightly like a beacon. Proponents argue that this reflectivity was not just for aesthetics, but served a functional purpose: to reflect and concentrate solar energy towards the apex or specific internal chambers. Some even speculate that the casing stones might have had a unique crystalline structure or coating that allowed them to convert sunlight into a different form of energy. Inner core and chambers. The inner core of the pyramid is made of yellowish limestone, while the king's chamber and other key internal structures are made of granite. Granite contains quartz crystals, which exhibit piezoelectric properties, meaning they generate an electric charge when put under pressure or vibrated. The theory suggests that the immense pressure of the overlying stones, combined with solar heating and cooling cycles, or even subtle earth vibrations, could cause the granite to generate electrical currents. These currents, or other forms of energy, would then be amplified and directed. Water and chemical reactions. Some theories suggest that water from underground aquifers beneath the Giza Plateau was somehow involved. Solar energy could have been used to heat this water, creating steam, or to facilitate chemical reactions within the pyramid that produced a usable form of energy. This energy might then be stored or transmitted. Transmission mechanisms. Once solar energy was supposedly harvested and converted, the pyramid would need a way to transmit it. Wireless transmission. This is a common speculative element, often drawing parallels with Nikola Tesla's ideas of wireless energy transmission. The pyramid's apex, which might have had a metallic capstone, possibly gold-plated, is seen as an antenna, beaming energy wirelessly to distant locations. This energy could then be received by other pyramids or specialized devices. Directed energy beams. The ersatz, narrow passages leading from the king's and queen's chambers, are sometimes reinterpreted as conduits for beaming solar energy or other forms of energy. These beams, powered by the harvested solar energy, could have been used for communication, powering distant devices, or even for more exotic purposes, like climate control or terraforming. Purposes of pyramids as solar antennas. If the pyramids were indeed ancient solar energy antennas, what would have been their purpose? Proponents offer several grand possibilities. Powering ancient cities and technologies. The most straightforward purpose is to provide clean, free energy for a highly advanced ancient civilization. This energy could have powered cities, provided lighting, explaining the Dendera light anomaly, often misinterpreted as an ancient light bulb, or fueled sophisticated machinery that has since been lost or destroyed. This would explain how ancient cultures could achieve feats like precise stone cutting or massive construction without visible conventional technology. Global energy grid. Extending the idea, some theories suggest that the pyramids were part of a global network of energy transmitters. Pyramids on different continents, Egypt, Mexico, China, etc., would have formed an interconnected grid, wirelessly distributing solar energy across the planet. This would imply a unified global civilization with advanced energy infrastructure, a kind of ancient worldwide web of power. Climate control or terraforming. A more ambitious purpose could involve using concentrated solar energy for large-scale environmental manipulation. This could include influencing weather patterns, ensuring fertile lands, or even making barren regions habitable. This would explain the prosperity and longevity of ancient Egyptian civilization in a desert environment. Communication and navigation. The beamed energy might not have been solely for power. It could have been used for long-distance communication, acting as a form of ancient radio or a beacon for navigation across vast distances, perhaps even for interstellar travel. Spiritual or consciousness enhancement. Some theories blend the technological with the magical powers. While archaeological research has unveiled much about their construction and purpose, a persistent and captivating theory suggests that the most crucial element of these colossal structures, their capstone, is missing, and its absence hides a profound secret. This theory posits that the original capstone, particularly that of the Great Pyramid, was made of gold or electrum, a gold-silver alloy, and possessed extraordinary mystical or technological powers.
It was, according to believers, not just a decorative finishing piece, but the functional heart of the pyramid's true capabilities, a device of immense power that was deliberately removed or lost to prevent its misuse by malevolent forces, or perhaps to hide secrets too profound for humanity. This idea taps into the allure of lost artifacts, forbidden knowledge, and the enduring human fascination with magic and advanced ancient technology, painting a dramatic picture of a powerful device now vanished from history. The appeal of this theory is deeply rooted in several aspects of human curiosity and storytelling. Firstly, the notion of a missing piece that holds the key to a grand mystery is inherently compelling, like a treasure hunt for ultimate knowledge. The Great Pyramid, missing its very top, visually reinforces this idea of something vital being absent. Secondly, gold throughout history has been associated with divinity, power, and sacredness, making a golden capstone a natural fit for such a mystical role. Thirdly, the idea of ancient artifacts possessing magical or technological powers taps into a desire for a more enchanted or advanced past than typically presented by mainstream history. It suggests the time when humanity, or its ancient benefactors, understood the universe in ways we are only now beginning to grasp. This theory provides a sense of hidden meaning and a secret history waiting to be uncovered, which is very compelling for many. It suggests that the pyramids are not just static monuments, but active components of a vast, forgotten system, hinting at a level of global cooperation and knowledge that defies conventional historical timelines. Let's delve deeply into the core claims of this theory, explore the magical or technological powers attributed to the capstone, examine the reasons for its alleged removal, consider the evidence its proponents present, and finally, offer the mainstream historical and scientific perspective. The core idea, the capstone as the heart of the pyramid's power. At its heart, the theory of the lost golden capstone with magical powers asserts that the capstone was far more than a simple decorative top. Instead, it was the apex of the pyramid's true function, the crucial element that activated or focused the entire structure's inherent energies or advanced technology. Without this capstone, the pyramid is seen as incomplete, a grand machine rendered inert, or a communication device without its antenna. Proponents of this theory generally agree that the capstone was made of gold or electrum. Gold, being a highly conductive and non-corrosive metal, is seen as ideal for containing or transmitting energy. Its symbolic value as a divine metal further reinforces its alleged mystical properties. The capstone, often referred to as a pyramidion in Egyptology, though this term typically refers to the capstones found for smaller pyramids, obelisks, and sometimes the very top blocks of mastabas, rather than the singular topmost stone of the Great Pyramid as envisioned by this theory, is elevated to a status of supreme importance. The theory implies that the builders, whether ancient Egyptians with lost advanced knowledge, Atlantean survivors, or even extraterrestrial beings, understood profound principles of physics, metaphysics, and energy manipulation. They designed the entire pyramid as a complex system, with the capstone serving as its vital, activating component. Its removal, therefore, would effectively switch off the pyramid's true power, rendering it a mere stone monument. Proposed powers, magical or technological capabilities of the golden capstone. The powers attributed to the golden capstone are vast and often blend mystical concepts with advanced technological ideas. Energy generation and amplification. Concentrating earth energies. The pyramid itself is often theorized to sit on powerful ley lines or to somehow harness the Earth's natural telluric currents or electromagnetic fields. The golden capstone, positioned at the apex, is believed to have acted as a condenser or amplifier, collecting and intensifying these subtle energies. Its conductive properties, if gold, would make it ideal for drawing in and focusing these subtle energies. This could have powered ancient cities or provided an unlimited energy source. The idea here is that the capstone functioned like a giant antenna, directly attracting energy from the sun or space and channeling it into the pyramid's core, much like a lightning rod, but for more subtle, constant energies. Wireless power transmission. Once energy was generated or amplified, the golden capstone could have served as a transmitter, beaming this energy wirelessly to other locations or devices. This aligns with theories that pyramids formed a global energy grid, with each capstone acting as a broadcasting node. Imagine a beacon of pure energy, constantly radiating power. Communication, divine or alien. Interdimensional communication. The capstone might have acted as a bridge for communication with higher spiritual beings, deities, or even interdimensional entities. Its unique properties could have opened a portal or created a stable channel for receiving wisdom, guidance, or prophecies from other realms. Alien contact device. Directly linked to ancient astronaut theories, the golden capstone could have been a sophisticated communication device for contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. Its highly reflective and possibly resonant metallic surface, combined with the pyramid's stellar alignments, could have broadcast signals into space or received messages from alien ships, acting as a cosmic radio or beacon. It would be the ultimate hotline to the stars. Healing and spiritual enhancement. Vibrational healing. If the capstone emitted specific frequencies or energies, these could have profound healing properties. Exposure to these energies might accelerate cell regeneration, purify the body, or balance energy fields, leading to remarkable cures for ailments. Consciousness elevation. The capstone's influence could extend to the human mind and spirit. It might have induced altered states of consciousness, deep meditation, enhanced intuition, or even spiritual enlightenment. Priests or initiates might have used the capstone's power to achieve higher states of awareness, access collective consciousness, or receive divine revelations. This would make the pyramid a spiritual accelerator. Weather control or terraforming. A more extreme theory suggests the capstone possessed the power to influence atmospheric conditions, enabling weather control or even large-scale terraforming. By directing focused energy, it could have influenced cloud formations, precipitation, or temperature, ensuring fertile lands or making barren regions habitable. This would explain agricultural abundance in ancient Egypt. Knowledge transfer or mind influence. The capstone might have served as a vast repository of knowledge, beaming information directly into the minds of those near the pyramid, or even across distances. This could be a form of ancient download, imparting wisdom, historical records, or scientific understanding. In a more sinister light, it could have been used for subtle mind control, influencing the thoughts and actions of the populace to maintain social order and obedience. Why the capstone is lost or removed. Explanations for its disappearance. The disappearance of such an unbelievably powerful and precious artifact is central to the theory and often explained through various dramatic narratives. Stolen by invaders or looters. One common explanation is that the capstone, being made of valuable gold or electrum, was simply plundered by invaders or looters during times of unrest or the decline of the Egyptian Empire. Its immense value would have made it a prime target. Removed by secret societies or guardians. A more conspiratorial version suggests that powerful secret societies, ancient priests, or benevolent extraterrestrial beings recognized the immense power of the capstone. Fearing its misuse in the wrong hands, they secretly removed it and hid it in a secure, undisclosed location, ensuring it could not be weaponized or exploited for selfish gain. This implies a continuous lineage of guardians protecting humanity from this ultimate power. Deterioration and collapse. While gold is durable, the support built by giants. The pyramid's immense scale, particularly the sheer size and weight of their stone blocks, often leads to questions about how they could possibly have been built by ancient people using what we understand to be rudimentary technology. This wonder has given rise to one of the most persistent and captivating fringe theories, that the pyramids, and indeed many other massive ancient structures around the world, were built by giants. This theory posits that ancient civilizations either employed literal, physically enormous beings to lift and place the monumental stones, or that these giants were the original master builders, possessing not just immense strength, but also a superior knowledge that allowed them to achieve feats impossible for ordinary humans. It's a theory that taps into ancient myths, speculative archaeology, and a general disbelief in the capabilities of early human societies, offering a dramatic and awe-inspiring alternative to mainstream historical narratives. The appeal of such a theory is immense, resonating with a deep-seated human fascination with the colossal and the extraordinary. Firstly, the sheer scale of the pyramids, particularly the largest stones, genuinely puzzles many observers. It's hard for the average person to imagine how such weights could be moved without modern machinery, making the idea of superhuman strength a tempting explanation. Secondly, ancient myths and legends from cultures across the globe frequently feature beings of immense size and power, gods, titans, or monstrous figures, making the idea of giants a familiar and culturally resonant concept. This connection to ancient storytelling lends a mystical, almost preordained quality to the theory. Thirdly, it offers a convenient explanation for numerous impossible feats of ancient engineering around the world, from the precision-cut stones of Puma Punku to the massive cyclopean walls of Sacsayhuaman. Instead of complex human ingenuity, the simple answer is giants did it. This theory provides a sense of hidden knowledge and a secret history waiting to be uncovered, which is very compelling for many. It suggests that the pyramids are not just static monuments, but active components of a vast, forgotten system, hinting at a level of global cooperation and knowledge that defies conventional historical timelines. Let's delve deeply into the core claims of this theory, explore the role giants are believed to have played, examine the evidence its proponents present, and finally offer the mainstream historical and scientific perspective that relies on human ingenuity and archaeological facts. The core idea: colossal builders for colossal structures. At its heart, the theory that pyramids were built by giants proposes a direct, literal involvement of extremely large beings in the construction of ancient megalithic structures. These giants are envisioned as physical entities towering over modern humans, with strength far exceeding that of any known animal or human. They are not merely symbolic figures from myth, but were actual inhabitants of ancient Earth. Proponents of this theory suggest that several ways in which giants might have contributed to pyramid construction. Direct physical labor. The most straightforward interpretation is that giants simply used their immense strength to lift, carry, and place the massive stone blocks. A single giant or a small group could have accomplished tasks that would have required thousands of ordinary human laborers.
This would explain the perceived ease with which stones weighing many tons were supposedly moved and fitted with precision. Imagine a single giant effortlessly hoisting a 70-ton granite block into place, rendering ramps and complex lever systems unnecessary. This makes the logistical challenges of pyramid building seem trivial. Advanced knowledge and technology. Beyond brute strength, some versions of the theory suggest that giants possessed superior knowledge of engineering, physics, and perhaps even anti-gravity technology. They might have been the original teachers, imparting their wisdom to early humans, or they might have used advanced tools that allowed them to cut, shape, and levitate stones with ease. In this view, giants were not just laborers, but master architects and engineers, perhaps even bringing this knowledge from another world or a pre-cataclysmic civilization like Atlantis. They would have understood the Earth's energy grid, the properties of sound, or the subtle forces required to manipulate matter on a colossal scale. Supervision and organization. Even if they didn't do all the heavy lifting themselves, giants might have acted as overseers or supervisors, directing vast human workforces. Their intimidating size and perceived divine nature would have ensured absolute obedience and efficiency, allowing for the rapid completion of monumental projects. This ties into ancient myths where gods or semi-divine beings guided early human endeavors. The motivation of these giants. The motivations attributed to these giants vary. Some theories suggest they were benevolent beings helping humanity. Others propose they were masters or even enslavers of humanity, forcing humans to build for them. Yet others suggest they built these structures for their own purposes, such as homes, temples, or devices that served their unique physiology or technological needs. Their reasons could be as diverse as their supposed origins. This theory fundamentally challenges the mainstream view of ancient human capabilities. It implies that ordinary humans with their limited strength and technology could not have accomplished such monumental tasks alone, thus requiring the intervention of a physically superior race. It redefines the very essence of human history, shifting from a narrative of gradual development and ingenious problem-solving to one of external assistance or even direct authorship by non-human entities. Evidence cited by proponents, the allure of the colossal and the legendary. Proponents of the giants built the pyramids theory draw on a range of sources, primarily focusing on perceived anomalies in archaeological sites, ancient myths, and speculative interpretations of limited evidence. The sheer size of stone blocks is the most frequently cited piece of evidence. Impossible weights. Believers argue that stones weighing tens, hundreds, or even thousands of tons, like those at Baalbek in Lebanon or Pumapunku in Bolivia, could not possibly have been moved and lifted by ancient humans. For instance, the largest granite blocks in the Great Pyramid weigh over 70 tons, while the sarcophagus in the King's Chamber weighs 3.75 tons. Even larger stones exist elsewhere. This perceived impossibility is seen as proof that superhuman strength was involved. The argument is often, if we can barely do it with modern cranes, how could they do it without? Precision of fitting. Not just the weight, but the precision with which these massive blocks are sometimes fitted together, e.g. at Sacsayhuaman in Peru, further fuels the theory. Proponents argue that such precision would be impossible without advanced tools or strength that could perfectly manipulate and position these colossal stones. Alleged discoveries of giant skeletons or footprints. Hoaxes and misinterpretations. Throughout history, there have been numerous sensationalized claims of giant human skeletons being unearthed around the world. These often turn out to be hoaxes, like the Cardiff giant of the 19th century, misidentified animal bones, e.g. mastodon or dinosaur bones mistaken for human giants, or exaggerated reports. Skeletal remains that show unusually tall stature, like individuals with giantism, are extremely rare and do not indicate a race of giants. Giant footprints. Similarly, claims of giant human footprints found in rock formations are usually attributed to natural geological formations, erosion patterns, or misinterpretations of animal tracks. There is no scientifically verified evidence of gigantic human footprints. Believers, however, often point to photographs or anecdotal reports from unverified sources as proof. Ancient myths and legends of giants. Global presence. Almost every ancient culture has myths and legends about giants. The Nephilim in the Bible, Genesis 6, the Titans in Greek mythology, the Jotun in Norse mythology, the Cyclops, the Anakim, various giant figures in Native American folklore, and giant beings in Hindu and Buddhist traditions. Proponents argue that the widespread nature of these stories points to a common historical truth, that giants once.
Pyramid on Mars. The vast, desolate landscape of Mars, captured in countless images sent back by NASA's rovers and orbiters, has long been a source of wonder and scientific discovery. But for some, these images hold a deeper, more mysterious secret, evidence of artificial structures, specifically pyramids, on the red planet. This theory suggests that what appear to be natural Martian terrain features are, in fact, remnants of an ancient, intelligent civilization that once thrived on Mars. More dramatically, proponents of this idea often claim a profound connection between these supposed Martian pyramids and the ancient pyramids found on Earth, particularly the Great Pyramids of Giza. This theory paints a picture of a shared cosmic heritage, hinting that the builders of Earth's pyramids might have had a link to Mars, whether through direct visitation, shared knowledge, or even a common extraterrestrial origin. It's a concept that challenges our understanding of both planetary history and humanity's place in the universe, igniting the imagination with the possibility of life and advanced civilizations beyond our home world. The appeal of such a theory is immense, tapping into several powerful human fascinations. Firstly, the idea of life beyond Earth, especially intelligent life, is a deeply compelling concept that has fueled science fiction and scientific exploration for centuries. Seeing what appear to be artificial structures on another planet immediately sparks the hope that we are not alone. Secondly, the pyramids on Earth are already shrouded in mystery, with many people finding conventional explanations for their construction insufficient. Linking them to Martian structures provides a grand, unified explanation, suggesting a cosmic secret that ties our planet's ancient past to another world. Thirdly, the theory often involves a sense of revelation, implying that NASA or other space agencies are aware of these structures but are deliberately withholding the truth from the public. This adds a layer of intrigue and distrust, appealing to those who believe in hidden agendas and secret knowledge. It offers a dramatic reinterpretation of history, suggesting that our ancestors were not primitive but highly advanced, capable of feats we are only now beginning to comprehend. It provides a sense of hidden knowledge and a secret history waiting to be uncovered, which is very compelling for many. It suggests that the pyramids are not just static monuments, but active components of a vast forgotten system, hinting at a level of global cooperation and knowledge that defies conventional historical timelines. Let's delve deeply into the core claims of this theory, explore the evidence its proponents present from Martian photos, examine the alleged connections to Earth's pyramids, consider the implications of such a discovery, and finally offer the mainstream scientific perspective that relies on geological facts and the psychology of human perception. The core idea: Martian pyramids as proof of ancient Martian civilization. At its heart, the theory of Martian pyramids asserts that certain formations on the surface of Mars are not natural geological features, but are artificial structures built by an intelligent civilization. These structures, particularly those that appear pyramid-shaped, are seen as undeniable proof that Mars once harbored advanced life, capable of monumental engineering. This challenges the mainstream scientific view of Mars as a planet that might have once supported microbial life but not large-scale intelligent civilizations. Proponents suggest that these Martian pyramids are more than just ruins. They are remnants of an ancient, technologically advanced society that either flourished and then vanished, or perhaps migrated to another planet like Earth. The very existence of such structures would imply a rich and complex history for Mars, a history that includes intelligent beings with the capacity for large-scale construction. The theory further posits that the precise geometry and apparent design of these Martian structures indicate a deliberate purpose, similar to the speculative purposes attributed to Earth's pyramids, such as energy generation, communication, or even symbolic monuments. The idea is that the pyramids on Mars are too perfect, too symmetrical, or too strategically placed to be mere coincidences of nature. They must be the product of intelligent design, a clear signpost left behind by a forgotten Martian race. Alleged evidence: interpreting Martian photos. The primary evidence for Martian pyramids comes from photographs taken by NASA probes and orbiters. Proponents meticulously examine these images, often highlighting specific areas where light and shadow create shapes that resemble artificial structures. The face on Mars, Cydonia region. This is arguably the most famous and influential piece of evidence for artificial structures on Mars. In 1976, NASA's Viking 1 orbiter took a photo of the Cydonia region of Mars. One particular mesa, a flat-topped hill with steep sides in this image, under specific lighting conditions, appeared to resemble a human face. Proponents' interpretation: believers immediately seized upon this image, claiming it was an artificial monument, a giant sculpture built by Martians. They argue that its apparent symmetry and human-like features were undeniable proof of intelligent design. This face became a rallying point for the idea of ancient Martian civilizations. Connection to pyramids. The face on Mars theory often goes hand in hand with the Martian pyramids theory, because other formations in the same Cydonia region also appeared to be pyramid-shaped. The idea was that the face and the pyramids were part of a larger complex, an ancient Martian city or ceremonial site. Pyramidal structures in Cydonia and other regions. Beyond the face, other photos from various NASA missions, including Viking, Mariner 9, and later missions, have shown formations that, under certain angles of sunlight and resolution, appeared to have triangular or polygonal shapes, vaguely resembling pyramids. Proponents' interpretation: these formations are claimed to be artificial pyramids, some even larger than Earth's Great Pyramid. They point to sharp angles, seemingly flat sides, and apparent regularity as evidence of construction. Some theorists even attempt to find specific mathematical ratios, like pi or the golden ratio, in their dimensions, similar to how pyramidologists interpret Earth's pyramids. Specific examples: while less famous than the face, various triangular or polygonal mesas in regions like Cydonia or Elysium have been highlighted. A car-sized pyramid spotted by the Curiosity rover in 2015 also gained attention among conspiracy theorists, who suggested it was just the tip of a much larger buried structure. The other anomalies on Mars. The theory often incorporates other supposed artificial features on Mars, such as what some interpret as domes or ruined cities or tunnels or even statues in various NASA images. These are all presented as cumulative evidence of a once thriving Martian civilization, with pyramids being a prominent architectural style. The argument is that if there's one artificial structure, there must be others, and the pyramid shape is a recurring motif. The cover-up narrative. A crucial element of this theory is the belief that NASA and other space agencies are aware that these are artificial structures, but are deliberately withholding the truth from the public. Low-resolution photos. Proponents argue that initial low-resolution photos were clearer, and later high-resolution images are either faked, enhanced to obscure the truth, or taken at angles that make the structures look natural. Lack of follow-up. They question why NASA doesn't send rovers directly to these pyramid sites for closer inspection, suggesting a deliberate avoidance to prevent public discovery of the truth. Maintaining control. The alleged reason for the cover-up is to prevent public panic, to control the narrative of human origins, or to maintain a monopoly on advanced extraterrestrial knowledge. Proposed connections to Earth's pyramids, a cosmic link. The theory of Martian pyramids takes on an even grander scale when it proposes a direct connection to the pyramids found on Earth. This connection can be interpreted in several ways. Shared builders, ancient astronauts. This is the most popular link. The idea is that the same intelligent beings who built the pyramids on Mars also built the pyramids on Earth. Alien colonizers. Extraterrestrial beings, perhaps from Mars itself or another star system, colonized Mars and built structures there. When Mars became uninhabitable due to a natural catastrophe or even a nuclear war, as some speculative theories suggest, these aliens then traveled to Earth and helped